Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are fine. Students, we are in unit 1, that is fundamentals of computer. Okay, we are studying computer hardware, and so far we have studied input devices, system unit, and inside the system unit we talk about the motherboard and processor, that is your CPU, which consists of ALU, CU and memory registers. Then we talk about the storage devices, and in the last lesson we talk about the output devices, and in today's lesson we will talk about the memory, which is also a very important hardware component of a computer, and its various types, that is ROM, RAM and cache memory. So in this lesson we will talk about the memory and its three types in more detail. Memory is a temporary area for holding data, instructions and information. Memory is also known as main storage or primary storage, or main memory or primary memory. A computer usually loads the data and instructions from storage into memory, then executes them. Memory has much faster access time than backing storage. Yes, we know that memory or main memory or primary memory is always faster as compared to the backing storage or secondary storage devices. Memory can be volatile or non-volatile. It can have both the types. Primary memory can be volatile or non-volatile. Volatile means the memory which is lost when it is powered off, and the memory which remains or which stores the data without having any kind of power. That kind of memory is called non-volatile. So primary memory can have both the types. The size of memory is measured by the number of bytes available for use. There are three types of memory: RAM, random access memory; ROM, read-only memory; and cache memory. These are the three main types of memories we have in a computer. Here in this diagram we can see that different computer memories are mentioned in this pyramid, and their capacity and speed and cost is also represented in some way. Here it is shown that the secondary memory or masked storage, its capacity is higher as compared to the primary memory, cache memory and CPU registers, but its speed is less as compared to main memory, primary memory, cache memory and CPU registers. And on the second level, if we see the primary memory, so its speed is higher as compared to the secondary memory, but its capacity is less as compared to secondary memory. Then cache memory is high in speed but low in capacity. Further, if we see that the prices or its cost is also represented in a way, the lowest memories, that is secondary memory or mass storage, it is cheaper as compared to the primary memory, cache memory and CPU register, while the primary memory is expensive as compared to the secondary memory and cheaper as compared to the cache memory. In the same way, cache memory is more expensive as compared to the secondary and primary memory, that is RAM, but it is small in capacity as compared to the primary memory and secondary memory. And third, its speed is higher as compared to the primary memory and secondary memory. In the same way, CPU register are the smallest memory units in our computer, but they are the fastest memory units in our computer and the most expensive one. So this is how the memories are categorized. Further, if we see in this picture, it shows that RAM, cache memory and CPU registers, they are called the internal memory, which stores the data temporarily, and the secondary memory or mass storage devices, it is termed as the external memory, and most of the time it is a permanent storage area in a computer, and its capacity is higher as compared to all the other internal memories. So this is how we can categorize the memories on the basis of their capacity, speed and cost. First one, that is RAM. RAM stands for random access memory. RAM is volatile memory in the system unit. It holds the data temporarily as long as the computer remains on. All the contents of a RAM are removed when we turn off the computer. All the programs are loaded into the RAM of the computer before execution. RAM chips are usually packaged on a small circuit board that is inserted into the motherboard. The two basic types of RAM are dynamic RAM, we call it DRAM, and static RAM, which is called SRAM in short. Here in this picture, the SRAM and DRAM are shown, and this is the comparison table of SRAM, that is static RAM, and dynamic RAM. See, SRAM uses transistor to store a single bit of data. On the other hand, dynamic RAM uses a separate capacitor to store each bit of data. SRAM does not need periodic refreshment to maintain data. On the other hand, if we see, dynamic RAM needs periodic refreshment to maintain the charge in the capacitors of data. Their charge is actually the data which needs to be maintained, and for this purpose, this kind of memory, which is a dynamic memory, it needs periodic refreshment. SRAM's structure is complex than DRAM because it is made up of transistors. DRAM structure is simplex than SRAM. SRAM are expensive as compared to DRAM, while DRAMs are less expensive as compared to SRAM. SRAM are faster than DRAM. DRAMs are slower than SRAM. SRAM are used in cache memory. The cache memory we have in our computer, they are actually the static RAMs or the SRAM, and DRAM are used in main memory, means RAM, random access memory. RAM is an example of dynamic RAM, and that's why we call it RAM, because it is a random access memory. Or dynamic means that it keeps on changing the data inside the RAM, it keeps on changing, and it's a volatile memory. And if you want to maintain the data inside the DRAM or RAM actually, so it needs to be refreshed periodically, while on the other hand, in cache memory, it doesn't need any periodic refreshment, and it is much more faster as compared to the DRAM, and it is called SRAM. Cache memory is called SRAM. So it was a comparison of static RAM and dynamic RAM. It is just for your information, it is not included in your book. Second, ROM. ROM stands for read-only memory. It is a non-volatile memory, means that it's a permanent memory. It is permanent memory. all data, instructions or information are recorded permanently by the manufacturer in ROM. ROM contains the basic input-output system, that is BIOS, which is a sequence of instructions that computer follows to load the operating system and other files when the computer is turned on. And here it is the picture of ROM. The third type of memory, that is cache memory. Most of the computers today use cache memory, which speeds the process of computing by storing frequently used instructions and data. There are generally three types of cache memory. L1 means level 1 cache is built into the processor chip. Level 2 and level 3, which are represented by the letters L2 and L3. Cache level 1 and level 3 cache are not part of processor chip. They are apart from the microprocessor, while level 1 cache is actually part of the microprocessor in modern computers. In this picture, it is shown that how these primary memories communicate with each other, and they are arranged in a sequence to provide instructions to the CPU for execution. So the first primary memory, that is main memory, which is the which has got the highest capacity but slower as compared to the other cache memories. And then level 3 cache memory. So the data is actually sent to the level 3 cache from main memory, that is your RAM, and then level 3 cache provides that information or data to level 2 cache, and the level 2 cache provides it to the level 1 cache, which is actually part of the CPU. And so if the data is actually in the CPU, or is in the level 1 cache, which is actually part of the CPU, it can be accessed more rapidly as compared to accessing it from the RAM or level 3 cache. So this is how the speed of the CPU or performance of the computer is enhanced by implementing the level 1, level 2 and level 3 cache memories. Because we know that cache memories are the fastest primary memories we have in our computer, which is much more faster as compared to the main memory. So with the passage of time, initially there was no concept of cache memory, but with the passage of time, for improving the speed and performance of the CPU, they implemented cache memory between the RAM, that is main memory, and the CPU. And this cache memory is much more faster as compared to the main memory, and further it is much closer to the CPU as compared to the RAM, and it provides less data, or it can hold less data as compared to the main memory. Further, we already discussed that main memory or RAM is actually a dynamic memory or dynamic RAM, which needs periodic refreshment for maintaining the data, and it is slower as compared to the SRAM, and cache memory is actually an example of the SRAM. So static RAM is much more faster as compared to the DRAM, or we can say that cache memory is much more faster as compared to the main memory, and it provides instructions more rapidly to the CPU, and it is much more closer to the CPU. So this is how the overall processing speed of the computer is enhanced by using the cache memory. And in modern computers, there are three levels of cache memories, that is level 3, level 2 and level 1, L3, L2 and L1. So L1 cache is actually part of the microprocessor, and level 2, level 3 caches are not part of the processor, but they are closer to the CPU or processor as compared to the main memory. So this diagram actually shows the sequence of these different memories in our computer. Now measuring units, memory measuring units, that how we can measure the memory. Memory is measured in bytes. Most of the time we measure our computer's memory in terms of bytes. A byte is 8 bits grouped together as a unit, and it provides enough different combinations of zeros and ones to represent 2 raised to power 8, means it can represent 256 individual characters that include numbers, letters and symbols. A byte is the basic storage unit in memory. It is called memory word. And each byte is placed in a precise location in memory called an address. It means that a single character is represented by a single byte. And it is placed in a precise location, in a specific location in memory. That location is called memory address. A memory address is a unique number identifying the location of a byte in memory. See, I told you that a memory address is a unique number identifying the location of a byte in memory. In most of the time, this unique number is in the form of hexadecimal number. We will talk about these addresses in more detail later on, inshallah. So higher units of memory include 1 kilobyte. Kilo stands for 1000, but here it is equivalent to 2 raised to the power 10 bytes, which is actually 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is a higher unit as compared to the kilobyte, and it is equal to 2 raised to the power 20 bytes, while in terms of kilobytes it is equal to 1024 kilobytes. In the same way, gigabyte is equal to 2 raised to power 30 bytes, and it is equal to 1024 megabytes. Further, we have terabyte, which is equal to 2 raised to power 40 bytes, and it is equal to 1024 gigabytes. So the higher units are also there for measuring the memory. Okay students, that's it for today. Ask your questions in the comments and don't forget to subscribe my channel Computer Tuition Academy. Thanks a lot. Take care. Allah Hafiz.